Report of a gunman in the area. Students and faculty were advised to find a safe place and to stay put while several streets near the Ivy League campus were blocked off. So far, no gunman has been found, and New Haven authorities said the earlier report may have been a hoax. And the long-awaited report on the Newtown school shooting was finally released Monday. While the report closes the criminal case on the shooting, it sheds little new light on why teenager Adam Lanza went on his rampage that killed 26 people. It concluded that no clear motive will ever be known except for the fact that Lanza was obsessed with the Columbine High School shooting and that he planned his attack in advance. Joining us on the phone to discuss the report is Ron Pinciaro, the Executive Director of Connecticut Against Gun Violence. Ron, thank you so much for being with us on Arise America.
Thanks for having me.
I know that the citizens of Newtown, as well as the families of the victims of this horrible shooting, have braced themselves for the release of this summary. This has got to open up what really aren't old wounds at all.
Yeah, I think that's very true, and that's one of the sad things about the issuance of the report, because again, they have to go through this very invasive reoccurrence of all that they've been going through for the last 11 or 12 months.
You know, there are many families that have expressed their opinion about whether or not a full report should have been released. There is ongoing litigation right now about whether or not the 911 tapes will be released. But Ron, can you explain why releasing this report, the summary as it has been released, is important? What can it accomplish?
Well, I think the point of view on deciding that the report would be released had to do with the enormity of the situation and I guess the public interest in the situation. Beyond that, I think it was helpful in the sense, in certain ways, that it confirmed a lot of information that had been leaked out along the way. So I guess that was helpful in separating facts from rumor. Also, it gave us, or certainly gave, I would guess, the mental health and medical community in a little bit more insight into the thinking of Adam Lanza, and perhaps that will help in the future. And law enforcement, with some of the details that law enforcement had to deal with and face during that, could help, again, to save lives in future incidences of that sort from a law enforcement perspective. So I think those things were helpful. And, I think those of us who are directly involved with the gun violence prevention aspect of this, have gotten some more background, at least on it, although, nothing so conclusive that says if we do this, then this will be the beneficial result.
And speaking of gun violence, Connecticut was one of a few states this year that was able to pass stricter gun control legislation. Of course, the president was not able to get that passed on the national level. Are you satisfied with where the gun laws are in Connecticut are at this time?
Yeah, even before this session, Connecticut is rated as having the fourth strongest gun laws in the nation. And we considerably strengthened those gun laws with the package that was added at this time. So we were very happy with that. Given the political reality, we felt it was the very best that we could do.
Can you tell me, as a community, and I know this is a very broad question, but as a community, how are the people of Newtown doing, and particularly the families of those who were killed almost a year ago?
They're still very distressed. The families certainly are, and the whole town is, and that's why they have asked people, with the anniversary coming up on December 14th, that there not be demonstrations in Newtown. There will be demonstrations on a national level in Washington, and I suppose other states, will be having various activities of their own. But what they've decided instead was to make the focus in Washington and making it be a day of service to all disadvantaged people there. And they're inviting people to go to Washington to participate on that day in various ways, helping disadvantaged people of all sorts.
I know that there are many people, including families of the victims, that have used this tragedy as a motivation for a cause, whether it's passing stricter gun reform or greater awareness of mental health and mental illness. But is there a sense that the community is ready to move forward? I know that perhaps this summary might be a close to a chapter. The school was torn down. Is the community ready to move forward?
I think there's definitely a desire to move forward. We've met with some of the community members last Tuesday, not quite a week ago, and so yeah, there's a desire to go forward, but very, very slowly still.
I can only imagine. Does this summary bring any closure, if that's even possible? I hate to use that word, forgive me, but does it bring some sense of an end?
I don't think so, especially with the possibility of whether the 9/11 tapes are going to be released or not still hanging over. I don't think it advanced that very much. Although the families were brought together and giving the information about the report before the report was issued publicly.
Indeed.
So they were given deference in that regard.
Yes, well, during this holiday time, our thoughts and prayers go to the entire town and certainly the families of the victims of the shooting. Ron Pinciaro, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And this is Arise America.